Okay, so I've got a few problems that I'm trying to diagnose at the moment. The first one being my overheating issue, which I've just popped a post up on the Scimitar Facebook page to just check whether my expansion tank layout is correct. Just checking that this is the correct cap for the expansion tank and that this is the correct blanking cap for the thermostat housing, which I'm told it is. I'm also told that this isn't supposed to be here. This is just supposed to be a like a kind of a catch can from a Austin Mini. So I've got an overheating problem. I've got a Missfire, hence the different coloured HT lead. So this was just me. I saw some like kind of burn marks on the other one, so I've just replaced it for now just to see if that was the problem. It's not, so I'm going to go through each of these and check that I've got a spark on them. So those two things generally point to head gasket. You've got an overheating problem and you've got a misfire, both at the same time. But I'm trying to exhaust all my other options before I delve into check and see whether it is the head gasket. The other thing, the third problem that I've got, I don't know if you can see on camera very well, this sandwich plate inside here, one of the oil lines is leaking. So you can see from the last episode it sort of fired oil all over my engine bay after just having it all nicely cleaned. So I'm going to disconnect this. I'm going to disconnect the oil cooler. I'm going to disconnect the oil filter relocation thing, and I'm just going to put the oil filter back on the block like it used to be originally, just so that I can start the engine up and test a few things. But yeah, it's not been a good week for this car, but I'm hoping to get some stuff fixed tonight. I've also got myself a battery cut-off switch as well, and this looks like a nice little hole that I can poke it through, just because the car will be sat for a while without being used, and so I want to be able to just disconnect the battery without having to get my tools out and muck about. That'd be useful. Okay, I've got a new filter. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's black this time. And I'm just going to cable tie all these oil lines out the way, because there's no sense in removing everything because it's all, I've only just installed it all. So I've just disconnected these lines and I'm just going to cable tie them out the way, and then I can top her back up with oil, more coolant, and then start diagnosing this misfire. I'm not sure if this is good or bad or normal or terrible or what, but it's very black. Looks like there's a bit of oil on the thread, possibly from a leak. I don't know if you can see very well. You can't see. Don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I'm going to clean it off anyway and maybe put a bit of sandpaper between it, but is that bad enough to stop the spark? I don't know. Okay, on the one side they look kind of like this, quite dry but definitely very black, and then so left side they look like this, and then all the ones on the right side look kind of wet, which suggests an oil leak. I can't see an obvious one, although I have got fresh oil all over the engine since my sandwich plate malfunctioned, but I've cleaned them up. I'm going to start the car up in a second and we'll see if there's a difference. I think there might be. oil pressure. Oh my god, we've got oil pressure. Okay. Let's pull the choke out. Okay, that's a flat battery. Okay, I'm attempting to satisfy my curiosity and see if this car's still misfiring. Desperate times. Okay, we're just doing a test to see whether we're actually getting fuel.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. I've also got these that I'm going to try. So they flash every time there's a spark. They sit over the top of your spark plugs. So I'll try them on both sides, because that's the next thing, just to make sure we're actually getting spark, isn't it, Soph? Isn't it, Soph? And you're going to come and help me, aren't you? Oh, Mishi. Oh, Soph. Don't go.
See that breath?
Bye then. Yeah.
Just press these together.
Yeah. Do you want to give it a test in the corner?
In the corner?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Happy?
Mm-hmm.
As if one of the spark plugs isn't connected or something.
So close.
That was with the choke out. Might have just found the problem. The HT lead at the very back of the block wasn't clipped onto the spark plug properly. This could be it. This could be it. Please. Okay, I've done something a bit weird. I've disconnected the fuel return and plugged the fuel pump straight into the return, and so it's just going to pump fuel back into the tank rather than going into the carb, because I want to test, I want to see if these are actually sparking without the other cylinders trying to fire and causing like explosions and stuff. So hopefully this works. I don't know if this is the right way of doing it. I don't know if it's safe, but I'm gonna try it. We've got the fire extinguisher ready.
Sparking.
Something else did though, down there.
What?
You know?
No spark?
No, something's sparking down there though.
So this plug isn't sparking, but the light did. Let me go get the light again. It can't be this simple. That one definitely wasn't sparking. I'm going to try a spark plug from this side and see if when you take it out and just plug it into the HT lead without having it in the cylinder, it should spark. Of course it should spark. So that other one wasn't. That's got to be the problem. It's surely. So those little lights don't confirm that the spark plug's working. They confirm that the HT lead is carrying the current to the spark plug. So if the spark plug's knackered, it could still not be sparking. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to put it up here. Am I going to be able to see it from there? You'll be able to see it. Right, new spark plugs, moment of truth. I'm actually just going to turn the key to see if my new battery cut-off switch is working as well, just to make sure nothing's turning on. Perfect, battery cut-off's working, fuel line is connected back up. Battery switch back on. It's firing on all cylinders. It's working. This is just with a base carb tune. I do need to secure the distributor down as well, actually, once I've messed with the timing. I'm going to do that now, actually. I'm going to see if I can figure out the timing. This cap is off because I'm trying to get rid of any air locks in the system. Okay, that smoke is just the oil burning off the exhaust manifolds that was splattered everywhere last time. I think I want it idling at about 900. stick with that for now. I can adjust that a bit later on, I think. Okay, it's finally running again. That took way too long. I've deleted so much footage out of this video of me just cranking the engine over and trying different things and hoping for the best. And in the end, it turned out that it was just the spark plugs. I should have known better. I've learned a lot, and that's the main thing. This video is a little bit late, so I apologise for that. I didn't expect this to take so long. The overheating issue is still there. It's still running a little bit too hot, and I think it could be an airlock in the system, because I started the engine, ran it for a bit until it got warm. It got slightly too hot, but it stayed there for a while. It hasn't boiled over yet. I've left the cap off of the expansion tank, and then when I turn the engine off, I get loads of bubbling in the expansion tank. I don't know whether that's normal. I know it's supposed to kind of suck and push back out water when it needs to. But I'm not sure why it's still bubbling every time I turn the engine off. I'm hoping that's just excess air coming out of the expansion tank or out of the system. And so maybe if I run it a few more times, it'll get rid of all that air and it'll be fine. But still running a bit hot. I'm so happy, I'm so pleased. I can't tell, like I'm gonna have a beer now. In fact, if you haven't tried this, by the way, Innocent Gun, B&M do it for a £5, 4 cans for a £5. Absolute bargain. Have a good night, thanks for watching, and peace.